Hi everyone, and welcome to the Alive podcast. I'm your host Dimple, and today I'm thrilled to be joined by a very special entrepreneur, Rishi Tandulwadkar. He's the founder of Alive Regenerative Wellness.
And Nani, diabetic for a good 20-25 years, reached a point where because of diabetes, her kidney started failing. Our own mother, we can't do anything. So they started exploring regenerative application. And in hindsight, we delayed her dialysis by 5 years. Then we realized that a lot of people are looking for something like this. How stress is impacting you, if there is stress impacting you. Because stress has a major role to play in a lot of our body functions. What we do is we do a slightly more advanced form of diagnosis to do some tests to identify these biomarkers in your genes. And then we have therapies that target it in a regenerative way, where you make new cells for the body. And then in a supportive way, where you're giving the body ammunition, nutrition, elements, X, Y, Z. But the key for almost everybody lies in nutrition.
Right.
So nutrition and other things have to be on point.
Absolutely.
Right, there are a lot of different parameters in the body that one needs to keep a constant check on. Basic hemogram karo, B12, D3 deficiencies karo, inflammation markers you can do, liver function, kidney function, cholesterol. And prevention in better than cure is a 21st century way of talking about it. The 22nd century way of talking about it is prevention is the only way.
Since we're speaking about prevention, I want to know what are the therapies available at Alive for the same?
So we have two types of therapies. One type of therapy is going to help you make newer, fresher, better quality of cells.
Okay.
And regardless of what you do or don't do, this therapy is going to go and make the new cells for you.
Okay.
This can be used for anybody over the age of 45, even if they have nothing off.
Got it.
So once a year, one session.
Nice. All right.
For diseases which are slightly more aggressive in nature, chronic diseases, diabetes, arthritis, certain neurological stuff, certain neurological diseases that have no cure. For all of these, we initially do maybe 2 or 3 sessions, see how they have worked for the next year, and then decide if once a year, then sessions are needed after that.
Okay.
About 70 to 80% of our patients have seen great results and transition into a once a year therapy. 20-30% of the patients, some see results, but they fade off, and some don't see results also. But collectively, these are therapies that are going to go and make the new cells in your body. And the other vertical is your IV therapies, which is nutrition, like we said, ammunition of different forms, be it vitamins, minerals, trace elements, antioxidants, some amino acids, some coenzymes like NAD+. There's a lot of different things that are there that are going to help you live your lifestyle in a slightly better way, not combat your lifestyle. But if you can make small changes in your lifestyle, these will really support you to overcome some of the major impacts of your lifestyle, right? So applications go for detox, for fat loss, for skin rejuvenation, for an overall internal vitality, anti-aging, energy levels, immunity, and all of these are
something that I've personally experienced at Alive as well.
And then we do some of them in combination together. All of them are personalized as per the individual stage. Some can be combined. So all of these therapies put together are sort of this new 22nd century tool, what I call it, to embed into your lifestyle. So that we are trying to offset a little bit of how the lifestyle is going on. And on the other side, the little bit of lifestyle changes that you're trying to make. We help you do it and maximize the efforts of even those small lifestyle changes.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the diseases, it's a little different vertical. They go and make new cells which help your body deal with chronic diseases better.
Right.
So all of these therapies together are what we essentially do at Alive.
I provide here. Also, since you spoke about, like your eyes lit up and you spoke about success stories, how about you share an example with us about any success story that happened at Alive that left like a huge impact on you as well?
So I think one of them has to be some of these diabetes patients. This is a patient who came to us, I think he was from Oman. He heavily diabetic. He heard about us through another individual who'd done the therapy here. And this guy was like, listen, I can't control my lifestyle. I've tried doing 50 things, but I don't see the results and I give up. Right? So he's like, you help me control my diabetes. I will do all the lifestyle changes. So I was like, okay, let's start. his HbA1c was about 12 point something, 12.5, 12.6 at the time, which is very, very high.
Yeah.
He was taking medication, but he was irregular with that also.
Yeah.
So he needed something that would really start regenerating his pancreas, which will then start producing more insulin, which will bring the blood sugar levels down, things like that. That's what the therapy does. So we started him on the diabetes protocol, 3 sessions, and about 6.5 months later, his HbA1c went down to about 6 point something.
Whoa.
Right? So in a 6-month timeline, HbA1c is a 3-month average. There's a drastic drop in his thing. Obviously, he also started taking a little bit of medication, but he has not really started very heavy medication. Just 1 tablet he started. No insulin, nothing at all.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
So it was life-changing, right? Like, and the guy is coming in again this year to do another therapy.
Yeah.
Right, and we just felt like, wow, like that's a miraculous.
Isn't this like kind of aligning with what we spoke earlier about your vision, the reason you started this?
Yeah.
And suddenly when you see this is really impacting people in that manner.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it all beautiful.
It does.
Well worth it.
It does. Another couple of results. One was so my mom's an infertility specialist. She's a gynec, and we did this one therapy for a lady, 42, 43 at the time, I think, when she came to us. Her ovaries had stopped producing eggs. And she was single. She wanted to have an IVF baby.
Yeah.
She's from Dubai. You can't do if you're unmarried over there.
Yes, you can't.
She found us through some reference, and by the time she came to us, her AMH levels were gone. Her ovaries were not producing eggs at all.
Oh, man.
So even we told her the same thing, that listen, maybe a donor is a better option for you. But she's like, listen, I want my DNA, right? If not, I'd rather adopt. And fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah.
And she was like, but whatever said and done, I know that these therapies have a 60-70% chance of working. I know it's not a short thing. She was a scientist herself.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, I've studied the science. I want to do it.
Yeah.
You just do it. I'm ready to sign any document that I'm not holding you to a result.
My God.
And generally, we choose to do these therapies where so these cells are not able to go recreate something from scratch, but they'll regenerate what is there. Right? Early stage osteoarthritis, great results.
Correct.
Early stage of a lot of these chronic diseases, great results. But in her case, it was late stage. But she said, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
In hindsight, as of today, we have a publication on this case as well. Baby is born about 4-5 years old now, right? Running around. And
all fine, health is okay.
We regenerated her ovaries with her own cells. We started producing eggs, took the eggs out, took a donor sperm, made an IVF baby, implanted into her. She wanted to go through the aspect of pregnancy so she could experience that.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, baby's about 4-5 years. Another amazing result.
Yeah, you're like literally giving back hope to people. Yeah. That's just, I don't know. I have no words to say right now, really.
On the regenerative medicine side, a lot of great results.
Yes.
And on the IV therapy side, the fat loss, I would say, is by far, there's NAD+, but that's something different. But fat loss, we've had, one of our best case scenarios was a lady from Delhi. She was in Pune for about 3-4 months. She started the therapy in 3 months with obviously certain lifestyle changes and
it all goes
certain
hand in
diet
hand.
protocols and things like that. She was able to lose about 15 odd kilos in those 3 months. And she lost 10 more kilos after stopping the therapy and going back to Delhi by just continuing the lifestyle. And end to end, you will not believe what is her inch loss was. Guess how many inches she lost?
Should I just say 10? Random figure.
She lost about 13 to 14 inches.
No ways. I thought I was just like saying something extreme for the fun of it.
But can you imagine? And okay,
oh
sure.
My God,
some individuals have a lot to lose. Okay, there's a lot to lose. But in 5 months, losing 10, 12, 13, 14 inches gradually, it's a foot less on a human being.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, right? And she was more than happy. And like, honestly, she came back, I think 5-6 months after. We couldn't recognize her. She was a different individual altogether.
That's a huge success story there.
And no side effects, no surgery, nothing. And now her lifestyle has also adapted. So this is sustained weight loss.
No, yeah, correct.
She doesn't need to keep coming back or do 50 things unless you go haywire with your lifestyle.
Yeah. I think, like what places like Alive do, essentially, now that I'm, going through the journey with you, I feel like it's like a little wall behind my back. I know somebody's got my back.
Yeah.
I'm doing the changes. I know what's right for me. Like you said, innately, we all know where we're going wrong, which week was off and stuff.
True.
But because of this, I know there's someone who's got my back.
True.
And that feels very empowering.
True.
So with all the innovative therapies available at Alive, which one would you recommend and why?
NAD plus. There's no.
I've been waiting for this question.
There's no second thought about it, because NAD plus is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide plus. The plus is important because of the electron chain transfer that it's a part of internally.
Okay.
But in simple terms, NAD plus is required by all the mitochondria in all our cells to make energy. No NAD, no energy.
Oh.
And the levels drastically decline with age, to the extent that they say research-wise it drops by 50% every 25 years. Which means that if you're born with 100, by the time you're 25, it's 50.
Yeah.
By the time you're 50, it's 25. By the time you're 75, it's 12 and a half.
Damn.
Could be different for people, but
got it. This is,
on an average,
an overview.
That's how the curve goes.
Yeah.
And it's a natural thing. It's a part of aging. It's one of those 10, 12 things of aging that we spoke about. So one of the things could be NAD plus levels declining. So your body is not producing, your cells are not having enough energy to keep going on. Therefore, first 25 years of life, you're growing, and then the last 25 is shrinking, even in size.
Yes.
It's, a physical, visual reaffirmation of one of these things.
Yeah.
Right? So NAD plus can be supplemented by different people for different reasons. Naturally, our body makes it, but our body doesn't make enough of it. Natural sources are there, but orally, when you eat also, how much can we eat if the body's level of making NAD plus only is declining?
Yeah.
Right? Multiple people lose NAD because of different levels, but it different reasons, but it happens by default. IV is by far the most quickest and most efficient way of supplementing it. There are oral precursors available. There are oral sublingual. There are multiple forms available. The biggest benefit we have seen is observed in IV, and it's a magical therapy. It's, in one word, if I have to describe what it does to you, is vitality.
Right.
You're in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, whatever you're doing, but there's a little less of that oomph that you had when, a few years back, right? Small things here and there remind you that, okay, my body is not
doing what it used to do,
efficient or as energized or as capable of doing whatever it was supposed to do. Sometimes it's mental fatigue, sometimes it's brain fog, sometimes it's just, finding yourself having to nap midway, things like that. Multiple reasons for it, but one of them, and NAD plus, can help you deal with a lot of these basic things, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a very complex thing. It's just an IV drip. How you take a vitamin B3 or D12 shot.
Yeah, it's literally
this
the
is
same.
an IV drip. It's not a shot.
Yeah.
We have developed a version which is a shot as well.
Really?
We're not made it in house, but
there's just so much happening here
coming
always.
So the one therapy that everyone, I would say above the age of 30, 35 should definitely go for. And our oldest patient for NAD is about 86, I think.
Whoa,
right?
Amazing.
And so for vitality, people come.
Yeah.
And you see the benefit, you see the difference very quickly with NAD.
Yeah, I'm going through NAD with you. And I think one of the key factors that happens every time I finish my IV drip of NAD is I don't feel the need to sleep. Okay. And at the same time, my brain is braining, literally, all the time. Like even in my sleep, I'm like, I have so much to do. I can do it. I don't need the sleep. My body doesn't feel the need to sleep that much.
Yeah.
So there's that instant boost that I get, which is crazy to explain in words.
Yeah. I actually used to sleep a lot after NAD.
Oh,
the
really?
first initial couple of sessions, obviously you don't sleep as much. But then post that, I used to get longer, deeper sleep. Yeah,
post that, yes. When it stabilizes, then I go back to my sleep schedules. Yeah. But the first few days, I'm like, bring it on.
Yeah. And that I have done so many work-related things in those, 48 hours after that session.
So have I.
And I just feel like, how did I get all this done? I've just done so much today. And then there are some days I feel like I've not done anything today. But NAD is an element that can help you with, and it's a supplement, right? I don't consider it to be a non-essential one. I feel like just the awareness is not there. So as of now, it's non-essential. But the minute people start understanding what it is, how it functions, why it's needed, it's going to be as commonly known as B12, B3, stuff like that.
And I think NAD has to become the key next thing that everyone should start opening their eyes towards.
And there are multiple other elements like this, right? For different people, it's different things. Deficiencies come and go. But NAD by default is one thing that is everybody's levels are declining. So if you come and ask me what's the one, like, you're going to go for a swim, you're going to go for a jog, you're going to do a session of yoga, pranayam. All of these things have to be done in different forms and ways to keep your mind, body, soul healthy. Right? And one of those 22nd century wellness tools is NAD+.
Yeah, issued in public notice. Please come and meet Rishi for this, because when he speaks about NAD+, he's only smiling. That's really close to his heart.
And wherever you are, feel free to incorporate it into your wellness routine wherever you are in the world. Be it oral, be it IV, whichever form. Do your research, get it from a right source. If you're doing it IV, make sure it's a reputed center. There can be some side effects associated with IV. The center needs to know to be able to take care of that. They're minimal. They're not anything hectic, because it's an element your body anyways has in itself. But you need to get the body used to taking it. So its impact varies on person to person. But wherever you are here watching this, incorporate NAD+ into your wellness routines.
And all the time, every time I've stepped into a life, there's constantly something new that has come up, or a research is going on, or something you guys are, there's just no end, like we said, right? If you just get into it, there's so much. So if the audience wants to stay updated with all of these researches, all of the trends that will keep coming for their health and wellness, then tell us, how can they get in touch?
So we've just started creating a lot of content for a lot of platforms. So be it YouTube, be it Spotify podcast, be it our Instagram handle, also Facebook. We have a WhatsApp community. On the digital platforms, we're present everywhere. So you can just Google ALIV and you'll definitely find us. Alive is also a seed in India, by the way. So you'll have to write Alive Regenerative Wellness.
Fair enough.
And we should pop up everywhere.
Point noted.
And just like us, there are a lot of individuals out there who are doing these things. So, once you start following us, I'm sure the algorithms will push a lot of different individuals onto you. Different schools of thought, listen to everything, understand everything. But before you try anything anywhere, just make sure it's a reputable center.
Make informed choices.
Make informed choices. Don't get carried away by the promise of a result, because results are linked to your lifestyle and your nutrition. And then your biomarkers, and then multiple other things. So just make sure whoever is recommending something to you is a medical professional or has the backing of medical professionals.
Absolutely. Yes. And quickly, because we spoke about a lot of different elements today, for our audience, can you do like a quick recap of the key points for today?
So we started with the fact that everything around us is different, right? 100 years ago, what people were living and how they were living is very different from what we are today. So by default, the things and the tools available to us today also have to change. So test diagnostically what may be right for you, what's going wrong, what are your symptoms, what are your blood tests saying, maybe your biomarker tests. Understand your body, be more attuned to your body, and then start implementing more new age ways of taking care of it. And this does not mean don't look at the old age ways. It's a mix of all. You need allopathy for things. You might need homeopathy, Ayurveda for something. You definitely need yoga, pranayam for some things. You similarly need regenerative medicine and regenerative wellness applications for the newer things that are coming in. And collectively, there's a lot that you can do. As of today, there are a lot of tools available. Awareness is low. So read, listen, educate yourselves, understand from your colleagues, and fall in love with being alive.